You know the feeling.
Yeah.
You walk into a conference room, laptop ready to go.
Oh, I know it well.
And you just stare at this mess of cables on the table. It's a total graveyard of dongles.
Right. You've got the wrong plug for the wrong socket. Every time.
And that is exactly the chaos we're diving into today. We're looking at a piece of hardware that claims to be the fix. The Kramer SID-X1N.
It is a pretty interesting piece of gear. The technical name for it is a DGKat twisted pair transmitter, but that's a mouthful.
It is.
What we're really talking about is a bridge. It's designed to let all your old tech and your new tech finally talk to each other in a meeting room.
So it's trying to achieve what some call infrastructure agnosticism. It's a nice term, but does it really handle that whole mix of plugs you find out there?
It does. It really acts like a funnel. You've got your modern standards, of course.
Yeah.
HDMI, DisplayPort.
Usual suspects.
Right. But it also takes DVI-D, and maybe surprisingly, it still handles VGA.
VGA. It's the cockroach of the AV world, isn't it? It just refuses to die.
It really does, especially in schools and government offices. And, that's a huge engineering challenge. You've got analog signals and high bandwidth digital signals that have to coexist.
So how does it manage that?
It uses Kramer's own technology, which they call DGKat. You can think of it as a universal translator. It takes all these different signals and repackages them.
You mentioned digital signals can be fragile. What does that mean exactly? I usually think of them as just they either work or they don't.
That's precisely the problem. It's what we call the digital cliff. A standard HDMI signal, for example, just dies over distance. It falls off that cliff and you get nothing.
Oh, okay.
DGKat basically acts like an armored truck for that signal. It wraps up the data so it can travel safely over standard network cables, specifically shielded CCAT6 or Cat7.
Wait, so it's using the same kind of cable I have plugged into my router to run high-def video.
Exactly. And that's what gives you the range. You can push a 1080p signal up to 50 meters. That's about 164 feet.
Which is huge for a big lecture hall or conference center.
It completely decouples the presenter from the screen.
Okay, the video side of it makes sense. But the marketing calls this thing a step-in commander. That sounds aggressive.
Oh.
Is it just a fancy name for an input switch?
It's definitely marketing speak, but there's some real logic behind it. The unit has a physical step-in button.
Okay.
So when you press it, it tells the main system to make your laptop the active signal on the big screen. You can basically seize control of the room's display without yelling for a tech.
So it kills that awkward moment, the, hey, can you switch it to my input moment?
Precisely. And it also has an auto-switching feature. It looks for a video clock. Basically, it checks if a device is on and sending a signal, or it'll just default to whoever plugged in last.
So it tries to guess what you want to do.
It anticipates the flow of the meeting, yeah.
That brings me to the price. I mean, this feels like it solves a couple of different problems in one box. Are you paying a big convenience tax for that?
It's an investment for sure. You're looking at a price right now around $636.
Discounted from almost $800, I see.
Right. But you have to think about the other costs it saves. It has something called Power Connect. So if the transmitter and receiver are close enough, a single cable can carry both the video signal and the power.
Oh, that's huge. That saves you from calling an electrician to put an outlet in the middle of a custom conference table.
Which is never cheap.
So the specs sound good, but what do the people who actually install and use these things say? What's the real-world feedback?
Well, what's interesting is that when you look at user reviews, the conversation shifts. People stop talking about data rates and start talking about reliability.
Set it and forget it.
Exactly. People like Jeffrey C. just call it excellent. A review from an installer in Mexico specifically praised the support they got from a representative. That tells you a lot.
That's a really key point. For an enterprise, you're not just buying a box. You're buying the guarantee that it won't fail during a big meeting.
It's an insurance policy. It confirms the hardware is doing its job as that bridge we talked about.
You know, all this talk about auto-switching and stepping in, it makes me wonder, as this hardware gets smarter at managing the room, are we getting to a point where the room itself manages the conversation better than the people in it?
That is a fascinating thought. If the technology decides whose turn it is to speak based on who plugged in last.
The furniture starts running the meeting. Something to think about next time you plug in.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive.